So if you want to make money online, then you need to understand these 6 basic principles that you need to grow an online business. So in this video, I'm going to break down what it takes to grow a 5, 6, 7, and even 8-figure business online. And I'm going to break down all the components within inside the business so you can understand it all and have some clarity around it and go and apply this to your own business or go and start your own online business. So what are the 5 main components of any business, or more specifically an online business? And it's sales, marketing, customer retention, and service delivery and finance. So I'm going to go through all of them individually and explain them in depth and exactly how it works. But the first key difference I wanted to go over is because there's a big difference between someone who runs a 5 and 6 figure business versus a 7-figure business. So what is the difference between these? So, pretty easily you can get to around about 5 to 6 figures just from doing marketing and having good sales. So this means you're constantly bringing new people through the door, through your funnel, through your Instagram, through your WhatsApp, whatever you do, and then you're nurturing them people and sending them into paying customers every month. And the reason you're getting these new customers is because you might be doing email marketing, you might be doing Google marketing, you might be doing Facebook marketing, and you've always got this flow of new customers coming towards you, which you can then convert over time into paying customers. So this is your marketing. And you can get to a high level with this by just having amazing marketing and having good sales skills. But to actually get to 7 and 8 figures, then you need to become a good operator. And to become a good operator, you have to understand the operations of business, which I've just explained to you before. So that's sales, marketing, finance, service delivery, and customer retention. So first off, what you need to understand with marketing is you need to understand your audience intimately. So you need to know what their pain points are, what their fears are, what their desires are, and you need to really put yourself into the shoes of your ideal customer. And that's going to allow you to adapt the sales message, whatever you're writing on your advertisements, that's just going to call out to that target audience and appeal to them. So, what we say now in marketing in this day and age is that, for example, Facebook and Google Ads algorithm is so good that, now that your ad is the actual targeting for it. So what you've written in your headline, what picture you use, that's going to drag people out, and people are going to see that in the feed and think, that resonates with me, or that speaks to me, that calls out directly to me, and that's how you get people to click on your ads. And the thing is with marketing in this day and age, if you come on and try and run these, Facebook or Google ads or anything like that just look like these cheesy, horrible ads that are just like, call me now, inquire here, then they're not going to work. They need to very much look native to the platforms. They need to look like something, your family member or friends might post, and therefore, they blend in and people are going to see them and they're going to think, oh, what's that? And, is that a post from my family? And they click on it and then they engage with it. So step number 2, sales. Now, this is one of the most commonly, misunderstood topics in business. And I know I totally misunderstood it. When I was getting started, I thought it was all about, these sleazy sort of Wolf of Wall Street tactics. You've got to speak in a certain tone and, lift your tonality up at certain points, which to a degree is kind of true. So that does affect around about, 1% of the sales. But the actual true key to sales is just they're finding out where someone is right now. So you'll ask them questions, ask them about their desired situation. So I've actually got a script I can share with you on this, and you get them to talk about all the pain points, where they are now, how it's not too good right now. And then you'll ask them where they want to go. So where the goals are, what they want to do in the next 12 months. And you'll ask questions that sort of create this future picture. So what you're basically doing is you're getting a clear picture of the desired state by asking them questions, poking at the pain points, where they're at now, how they're not happy at where they're at. And then you're going to ask some questions about where do you want to go? What are the goals for the next 12 months? What would change in the business if we were to hit these goals? What would it look like? Would you need to take more people on? And then we bridge that gap between the desired situation and the current situation and desired situation using our product or service. And that is as simple as sales can get. And once you crack this and you understand how to be the authority position, then you're going to absolutely do amazing with sales. And all you need to do to stay in the authority position in the call is to make sure you stay on track with your questions. Don't get carried away. Obviously, you've got to be polite, don't be rude, you've got to answer the questions of the prospect on a call, but make sure you always get back to your question, you stay in control of that call. And there's also certain questions that I will provide you as well that help you stay in control of the situation and the conversation, because as soon as the client or prospect feels like they're in control of the situation, then you've lost the sale. And I've seen this so many times. So you need to stay in control, keep the authority position, stay strong and stay confident when you're on a sales call. So number 3, finance. And this is one, I'll tell you a little story actually. So back when I was doing drop shipping, I had a drop shipping store and I was able to do pretty well with it. So I made around about £10,000 in revenue from the store. But ultimately in the end, I ended up losing money, or I think it was just about breaking even. And this is a lesson about keeping your finances right. So whatever business model you have, the main focus of your business is to make money. So you need to make sure that what you're bringing in is more than what you're spending out. So what you're spending on ads, what you might be spending on software, what you might be spending on product, you need to make sure that you're doing stuff on a daily basis that's generating revenue. So therefore you can create this cash flow within your business, because a business without cash flow is sure to die. Just like my dropshipping business that completely failed, you need to keep your finger on the point with your figures, know your figures, and you should be looking at these daily, how much money you've made, how much you've spent, and keep a good eye on this. And as well, down the line, I would definitely recommend getting an accountant, because this is just going to help you exponentially. But in the beginning, obviously, you're not going to be able to get an accountant. So just make sure you're keeping track of it. And you can do this in a Google Sheets, Word doc, whatever you want to use. But just make sure you're keeping track of your daily revenue or your monthly revenue, or how many clients you're getting on and how much you're spending. And always make sure that you're making a profitable return. Now, number 4, and this is something I wish someone told me about when I was first starting up, and it's customer retention. So, it's so important that you might see people who are, your competition, you think, why are they doing so much better than me? And it's because they're able to retain their customers. Because at the end of the day, around about 20% of your customers represent 8% of the revenue. So what does this actually mean? It means instead of trying to chase every single customer, thinking that your product or service is for everyone, you should focus on the customer that you most want to get. So this is the people that represent, 8% of your revenue. So for me, this might be people, who have a little bit of money they want to invest in, that, they're familiar with trading before or something like that. This will be the ideal customers. They're going to be more understanding of it. They understand how it works and things like that. But what you want to do here is make sure and feel like your customers are never left in the dark. So if you're in social media marketing, you've got clients and things like that, you should stay in contact with them regularly and ask them, for feedback, what you can do better, what they're not enjoying right now. And you can use this to increase the customer experience. And, another way to do this as well is by building branding. And I know that sounds like a bit of a wish-washy word, what is branding? But it's basically how your brand makes someone feel. So like Nike or something like that, if it makes you feel cool, or, whatever your brand is, if you can sort of get that across to your customers in any way possible. And a good little tip to do this is create some sort of channel or email list where you can share your personality with these people and share them tips, give them educational content that's going to help them, and this is going to help you build a brand with these people, and they're going to stick around so much longer. Because if you just get someone start with your business and you leave them in the dark, they're going to leave you and you're not going to have a business for very long. And where the money ultimately comes from is this top 20% of customers. They're going to stick with you for a while. They're going to refer you to their friends because they've had a good experience with you, getting them results. So at the end of the day, this is one of the most important things: client retention. So number 5, service delivery. And this is the one I absolutely got fucked over with when I was trying to start my business, because everyone out there is just like, go get clients, go get started straight away. But what they don't tell you is, service delivery is the most important part of a business, because results are the driving force of any business. Like, if you don't get good results, then you're not going to have a business for long. So you need to get amazing results. And the only way to do this is by focusing on your craft and focusing on what the client wants, what they see as valuable, and providing this to the customer. So I'll tell you a little story. So for example, for one of my old clients, my Facebook advertising company, I was providing with, amazing, cheap, high volume of leads. But what you need to understand is the difference between what you see as valuable and what the client sees as valuable. So the client wants the easiest job possible. They just want to get the money. They want to speak to clients that are ready to go. So if you're just sending people, high volume and cheap, that's a mismatch in value. You're seeing this as value, but they're not, and you're not going to have the client for very long. And I do actually have videos, if you're in the same niche as me and you want to learn how to run Facebook ads, I've got other videos that show you how to do that. But just make sure, more than anything, as much as you focus on sales and marketing, make sure you get good at actually delivering the service. And if you feel like you're not too strong at it right now and you just want to get started, then outsource this. But make sure, as I said, check your cash flow, make sure you got enough money, and make sure you pay whoever you're doing or outsourcing your ads to at the end of the month, after you've been paid for the client. And that's a good way to outsource it. But do not surpass this. So don't just focus on sales and marketing, although they are probably one of the most important things, two of the most important things. Service delivery is the thing that's going to keep your business going, because this is the make or break of a business. If you don't have good service delivery, you're not going to have a business for very long. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I just wanted to do this sort of high level overview of the sort of components of a business, just to give you a bit of clarity of what's actually happening, because I know it can be quite confusing. You see all these different tactics and videos and business models and all this shiny object syndrome that's out there. But if you just understand these 5 fundamental basic operations of business, and you can just go into each of them and think, I'm going to get better at this, whether it's finance or whether it's service delivery, or whether it's sales or marketing, and you can just focus on one at a time, and then you can just get better and better at each of them and just keep focusing on them. So I hope you have a clear picture now, and if you like this video or you want me to talk about anything else, leave it in the comments and I'll do another video. So thanks for watching.